everyone, welcome back to my guided journaling series. This is the second video in the Tokyo Pen Shop guided journaling series. So if you haven't seen the first video, I would go ahead and watch that first. It kind of gives some kind of general information that might be helpful to you. So I've got my stuff that makes me feel comfortable, happy, and cozy while I'm journaling. Let's see if you can see it in the, So yeah, I've got a nice scented candle going. Someone in the last video mentioned incense, which I also really love to do, but because I'm actually at my office, I don't want to, harass my coworkers. Not everyone loves the smell of incense. But that is a very good idea. And also definitely music that makes you feel good is also a really good idea to have. So those are a couple other ideas people shared. Also, I am releasing this video on Sunday because I got some feedback that Sundays would be better than Mondays because that's like a day of the week you generally have time to do this, and that made perfect sense to me. So that's why we're shifting over to Sundays. So keep letting me know, stuff like that, anything I can do to help. This may be a good thing for you. I'm willing to try. So I'm gonna show you how I go about creating a helpful habit. And I'm gonna do that by actually picking new habit that I wanna work on and just kind of doing the whole process live with you. So I'm gonna pick a couple pens that I'm excited to write with today. You know what? I actually want to use some of these new Unibo one because I'm really excited about them. So yeah, I'll use some of those, new Unibo one, and probably want to use a highlighter at some point. And actually, I love this pen lately. It has a nice bold black in it, so we'll do that a little bit. Okay, then I'm gonna get the rest out of the way so I don't feel overwhelmed. And so I already know what habit it is that I wanna work on because I already did a little bit of thinking about this. But how I would normally start is just by writing a couple notes to myself about something that's bothering me right now, something that I feel like I could get together better in my life. And the thing that has been bothering me lately is my work environment is chaotic and messy, meaning I'm not keeping my desk clean at work. So that's something that is bugging me that I want to figure out, like what is a helpful habit that I can create to change this? So I usually start with a very similar method, kind of like the cloud method, where I have in the middle of my journaling page my habit or my goal that I want to create. Sometimes you start with a goal because it needs to be broken into a bunch of littler habits. We're just talking about one habit today. And to be super clear, this video is not specifically about how does someone tackle this habit of keeping your desk clean, but it's really just more about seeing my process for how I go about picking a habit and working on a habit. So I'm gonna put in the middle here what I'm aspiring to, which is I desire a clean desk that is kept clean daily. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna think about some different components that are gonna be necessary to make this happen. So I know that one thing that happens on my desk is I end up with paperwork that I think I might need to reference later. Maybe it's from customers or maybe it's from vendors, but there's no reason it needs to be like piled up and scattered all over my desk. So what I need to do is I need to actually use files. I have a filing cabinet to the left of my desk that I could be using, and that it just makes way more sense for me to store those files, you know, not in the space where I'm trying to work, especially if I'm not working with them. So I think part of figuring out this whole clean desk is for me to figure out, you know, what files I need to keep and start and create them and then start using them. But this, of course, is not, you know, creating a filing system. That's like a one-time thing. So this right here is just a brainstorm process where I'm working out what is contributing to this problem? Like, what am I doing now that is not conducive to this goal here? So you might put things around here that you end up just crossing off and not even worrying about them. But what happens is, as you do this, I think you're gonna come up with like the key ding, 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 like refined habit that you really want to hone in on. So I will keep going here just to kind of continue showing you the process. So I know another thing that happens is I end up with new products on my desk. So I need a new product, I need a place or a system for new products that come in that, you know I need to work on launching, but it's not like I can work on them all at once. So I need someplace else that's not my desk for these products to go. And then when I'm ready to work on those individual products, I can go grab them. Still, I'm feeling like, okay, well, these are all things that I can do, but I don't think that they're really like gonna be the key to getting my desk clean every day. So I keep going. So I know one thing I want to do is I want to get a vision for how my desk will look. I think if you don't know exactly what you want to have on your desk while you're working, how in the world would you even know when it is clean? That is such a relative, concept. When I get my desk clean and figure out this habit, somebody else might think that that is not a workable environment, either because it's too bare or still too cluttered. So this is a totally personal thing, which is why I think journaling is so important, because you could just Google, how do I keep my desk clean? And while that will give you some good ideas, I really think you need to use the journaling to customize it for yourself. We are all so different. So I'm really thinking like, okay, I need a cue that to every day kind of reset my desk. I think I'm like honing in on the key here to what I need. So I think that like 3 p.m. would be awesome, because usually at 3 p.m. I'm starting to get that like, oh, I'm like sick and tired at work. I need to do something a little different. And I think having an actual like action item that's not using my thinking brain so much would be really nice at 3 p.m. So I'm gonna say an idea is I could set an alarm for 3 p.m. and then set the timer for 10 minutes and do I don't know what you call this, like a burst of cleaning. I think if you did that every day, you would only need 10 minutes. That's just kind of what I'm thinking so far. Let's see, what other ideas do I have? Oh yeah, so aside from new products, I always have just like pens that I'm currently using. So currently, I'm gonna say enjoyed pens. Keep together, you know, so rather than be sprawled out all over my desk, I'm thinking I need just kind of like one place on my desk for all these pins. Let's see, what else? I need to figure out my big reason for why I want my desk kept clean. You know, getting clear with yourself about why you should be doing this at all, that's really gonna help you with things like motivation and just keeping up the habit, or keeping up the, the actions that you want to take long enough that it actually becomes a habit. So I'm trying to think what else. So far, I'm just still feeling really drawn to this as a big winner. What other kind of thing ends up on my desk? Oh yeah, okay, so find new homes for things I use semi-regularly, or do you know what I mean by that? So I only want something on my desk if it's something I'm really, using every day or that day. I don't want something like, I'm gonna show you what my actual desk looks like. I can go through this actually with you so you can see what kinds of things I mean. But like, I often will have like scissors migrate to my desk. Well, I use scissors maybe once or twice a week. I don't need them taking up, like kind of like causing visual clutter on my desk. So I think that this will get you started and kind of understanding what I mean for ways I kind of hone in on what the habit is that I would really like to create. And I then go through and I actually see, is there anything on here that I just feel like I should totally nix? Actually, no, I think these are all, so like an example of something you might nix is if I had put, make people put new products somewhere other than my desk, because that's what happens sometimes, is someone will get done with like the photography portion or something, or the inventory portion, and they'll like drop off a new product because they know I want to launch it soon. They'll just drop it off on my desk. Well, I might not be ready for that for 3 days. So does it need to be taking up a quarter of my desk? No. So, your instinct might be, you know what, I need to make people put new products somewhere else, i.e. not on my desk. But this is an example of something I would nix. And the reason for that is probably obvious to some of you. Creating a new habit is not about controlling other people's behavior. So I'm just going to be like, no, I'm not going to be focusing on that. That is not going to be the key to getting success here. That was a first. Okay. All right. So figure out my big reason for why I want my desk kept clean. Some people call this their big why. I think that is really important, but it's like a one-time thing. I can do it right now. I feel less stressed and more productive when my desk is kept clean. I feel less stressed, and that feels like a tongue twister. I feel less stressed and Okay, so this right here is my big Y. I should have actually made that with another color. That would have been more exciting, but I'll do some kind of highlighter or something. So this is like, it's done for me. Now this might take you a lot longer. You might need a whole page of journaling to figure out your big why. It really depends on how complicated or emotional the habit is that you're working on. This is kind of straightforward and simple, and it's like not my first time at the rodeo, so it was not hard for me to come up with what my big why would be. So, you know, use files. This is kind of interesting. I'm going to come back to this one because I think this really is going to be a component of what happens with this one. Now, because this is a fairly simple habit and I'm fairly used to this, I can already tell you the huge winner is over here. Okay, so do whatever you want to kind of indicate that you're, you know, interested in really focusing on this habit. I think that these other things I put on here, find new homes for things I use semi-regularly, currently enjoyed pens keep together. These are all components of this key habit right here, this key action. Now, if you do not have actions on your brainstorm, you're probably going in the wrong, you're going in the wrong direction. You are not going to change without action. You can, so like what I mean by that is your like outer part could be full of research, and you might say, well, researching is an action. Well, yes, it's an action, but it's not the action that's going to directly be the habit action. I hope what I'm saying makes sense. But there are sometimes when I'm doing this, it's like a red flag if almost all your actions involve thinking or reading or, you know, unless of course your habit is that you want to read every day or something like that, and then you're on the right track. So very individualized for the habit you're working on. Something like this, there's no way I'm going to be able to keep my desk clean every day if I don't have actual actions that are, you know, the main components of this habit. This is kind of important, but it's also a one-time thing, and I can like do it right now. I do have a vision because my desk that I currently have has been kept clean in the past. I know what it looks like when I like it. I like the vibe, you know, and that would be totally different for other people. But again, that's why this is about the journaling of habits process and not about the actual habit that I am using as an example in this video. So I'm gonna say that one's actually done. And I think finding a place or some kind of system for new products is gonna be another key, because if I'm doing this habit where I'm just every day doing like a cleaning burst of my desk for 10 minutes, then I'm gonna need stuff like to know where to put those things that I'm pulling off my desk. So already I've gone from, you know, in whatever, less than 20 minutes, again, this more simple habit, but I've gone from feeling like, I'm frustrated, my work environment's chaotic, to feeling like, I can totally get this under control, and with just 10 minutes a day. Now, if you prescribe to the whole tiny habits, atomic habits approach, and depending on your personality, you may need to break this down even smaller. So you might start with just 1 minute a day. There are a lot of different ways you could break this down smaller. Some people might even need to start by cleaning one, you know, thing off their desk, not even for a whole minute. So it totally depends. I know that I can totally handle and really would like this 10-minute cleaning burst. And I think that it'll totally lead to having a clean desk. So we're going to migrate over to my actual desk, and we're gonna see what this is like. I'm gonna see if what happens, you know, when I have a messy desk and I do a 10-minute cleaning burst, how much I can get accomplished. We're gonna see if there's, like, you know, components that I've really missed thinking about. If that's the case, we're gonna go back to the journal. I mean, it's really, again, just a personal thing and will totally depend on how you think, how you work. But I have a lot of confidence that for a lot of you, this will be really helpful and even fun. And you'll probably come up with some really key habits that make your life much, much better. I've used this technique for making sure I drink water every day. I've used this technique for, oh my gosh, so many things. Getting in daily walks. Yeah, it's really good. For me, super great. All right, so now let's go over to my desk and let's see how this helped me. So welcome to my messy desk. So you can see I start by picking up all of the pens that need to be put in that pen case there, and I'm pulling a couple aside that I don't feel like I need to have right next to me all day, every day. I'm doing the easy kind of scraping up of garbage and starting a little planner sticker pile. I'm grabbing paperwork along with that garbage that just needs to go off my desk and into the trash or recycling. A lot of what I am gathering up is stationery. So at this point, I'm discovering that I have way too many notebooks on my desk, so I'm starting to think about which of the notebooks actually need to be within my reach during my workday every day, and which notebooks can just go off to the side. I have something you can't see in this video is that off to my left is a very nice shelving unit where I keep all the stationery that I don't need to be having to grab every day. I've got a lot of paperwork on my desk that either needs to be recycled or it needs to be filed. And I do go and grab some file folders here pretty soon. I'm finding weird things on my desk that I don't even know how they got there, like a sewing needle. There are some catalogs I need to go through to order some stuff. Got some headphones that are really just spare headphones for those days where I forget my AirPods. I hate not having headphones at work. So I start filing. I also, off to the left, have a filing cabinet that I can use. So that's where that stuff belongs that I don't know exactly when I am going to get to that project. I don't know if I'll ever know why I had that sewing needle on my desk. I would say this is about a week's worth of accumulated desk clutter that I'm cleaning up here. So I'm already starting to feel really good. Like, you can see that pen situation in that overstuffed brick. By the way, if I still have that brick in stock, I will post the link below. But you can see that if any more new pens come in, which happens all the time here at Tokyo Pen Shop, I am going to need a different pen solution. But the great thing is, if I'm doing this every day, I'll be able to spend some of that 10 minutes on figuring out which pens I can remove from my desk. The reason that I'm going to take up most of the 10 minutes this time is because I had, like I said, about a week's worth of accumulated clutter on my desk. Already looking so much better, isn't it? I think at this point I'm starting to figure out that I need an actual cleaning rag. So I've yelled to Frank to bring me a cleaning rag. And there it is. So I'm going to skip through some of the dusting bit because I think that's not super interesting. But I'm really just, at this point, I feel like I've barely used 5 minutes. I'm really able to get my desk in shape for that ultimate goal of mine, which is to not have a messy desk contributing to any stress at work. I think I'm going to be so much more productive if I can work in an environment like this. I wish I didn't need that pink iPhone holder. I don't super love it, but it is so handy, so I'm going to keep it on my desk for now. I'm not sure why I need so many coasters, but they're not so bad. Kind of cute. Of course, gotta keep my work crystal collection there. So yeah, at this point I am feeling really good. Like, this is a simple habit that I can do every day, and it is going to keep my desk clean. So just this one first session. All right, so next Sunday I'm gonna be back with a guided journaling video on how to remove unhelpful habits, those bad habits in your life that you want to get rid of. It's a different process than when you want to figure out a habit to add to your life. So I will see you next Sunday. Have a great week. Bye-bye.